good for you for saving that authentic reaction for this moment.
I know.
Because I would not have been able to recreate that twice.
No, you really weren't ready.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Off to Broadway, the podcast where we deep dive into anything and everything musical theater. I'm Tara.
I'm Stefania.
And in today's episode, we are now here for the 2025-2026 Broadway season preview, which, spoiler alert, is much less exciting than the Toronto and surrounding areas season preview as of Monday, September 15th, when we're recording this episode.
Yeah, I feel like we're lacking a lot of announcements. It is still very early, and definitely in the new year, things will really kick into gear, but it does seem a bit thin, especially compared to this past season, which was so busy.
Right, I was going to say, I feel like at this point last year, I'm just like pulling up the like graphic that we have, the playbill from last year, but I feel like at this time last year, we had so many, I don't know, announcements, and also like we were in New York. No, we weren't in New York. Were we in New York?
We went in the fall. We went right in October.
Oh yeah, sorry. And we were saying that, like, you know, the year before it wasn't so super busy with like new openings, but like that year was good. Like at October 7th, which is I guess a little bit later than we're releasing this season preview, we knew about Gypsy, Once Upon a Mattress, Swept Away, Maybe Happy Ending, Sunset Boulevard, The Last 5 Years, Boop, Death Becomes Her, and that's only the 8 that would fit on the graphic. And we had so many more.
Wait, so much, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like kind of different. I think the main difference for this upcoming season, I mean, we're currently in the 2025-2026 Broadway season, I would say. But I think the main difference is that, like, we have so many revival announcements so far, and it doesn't really feel like there's that many at this point, like, brand new musicals that are in play. Which,
yes,
I don't know. I think that's, like, kind of disappointing.
It is. We're going to we'll do what's announced for sure, and then we'll definitely get into stuff that's out there in other places that we think could potentially make a run. Yeah. But, what's already announced is a little bit thin this year.
Yeah, we typically, when we look at, similar to what we do for the, like, Toronto and surrounding areas, is we look at kind of, like, the theater houses that are typically housing shows that transfer to Broadway, whether that be, you know, La Jolla or The Goodman or Chicago Shakes. Actually, I don't even know what's playing at Chicago Shakes right now, so that's one that I have to look up.
We can look that up
while we do that. But Alliance Theater, like all of those kind of like different, and we'll say, you know, when we get there where these are in the States. But that really is like the only way that we have any idea what's transferring or not transferring or what's having a world premiere or something, because similarly to here in Toronto, like Mirvish has been responsible, you know, for bringing some shows. They had their out of town in Toronto before their Broadway run, and same thing like in the States. They play in like a smaller city to an audience, and they make changes or they don't make changes, or they open cold on Broadway later, and, you know, we see what happens. So we'll get to those, but yeah, like at this current moment in time, feeling very thin, very, very thin.
Yes, I agree. And even looking at, I'm just looking right now at the drama desks from this past year, which often like gives us a good insight in what was playing off Broadway that could potentially transfer. And it was a great season for musicals, but 4 of the 5 musicals were Broadway musicals that season. So very, very interesting. Yeah.
That is very interesting.
That is interesting. And maybe I'll bring up the one that later that is not on that list. Yeah, that is not on that list, because I think that's interesting. But for most of them were Broadway musicals from the season. It was such a strong season. So we will see. Yeah, I really, this season has not really taken shape yet.
No, we will also be discussing again, this is like really, we have no information, but we will be discussing the potential of West End transfers as well, because we have been seeing that pop up, I think, more and more recently in the last like 5 or so years. I would say there's almost like always a West End transfer coming to Broadway. I don't think right now there's one that's officially planned, but we have some, you know, shows in the works, a show that has always been there for us. So we will be discussing that later. But let's get into the 2025-2026 Broadway season, because as I said, we are currently in it. Oh, also, because I didn't say this in our last episode, we're really only talking about the musicals. So, like, sorry to every play out there, because the plays are actually, like, full shape. The season is, like, ready to go.
Sorry to Private Lives. Sorry
yes.
to Bug.
sorry to Art.
Proof. Sorry to Art. Sorry
Why
to
is
Dog Day
everything just,
Afternoon.
like, one
Sorry
word
to
play?
Sugar Daddy. Sorry to All Out, Comedy About Life.
You know that All Out is, like, all
Sorry
in?
to Becky Shaw. I do know that.
Yeah, okay. I found this out the other day.
Sorry to Kowalski. I'm just naming stuff. Sorry to Joe Turner's Come and Gone.
Those are the only airtime that they'll be receiving in this episode. So, yeah, we're well
Sorry
worth
to
the
Fallen
plays.
Angels. Sorry to Marjorie Prime.
Yeah, the plays are looking good, actually.
Sorry
the
to
schedule for
Oedipus.
plays.
Sorry to Rob Lake, Magic with Special Guest The Muppets.
I'm also pretty sure Sorry to Call Me Izzy, which has already ended, but they were part of the
Sorry
2025-26 season.
You know who I'm not sorry to? Little Bear Ridge Road. I feel not sorry to them. Sorry to Punch. Sorry to Waiting for Godot. Actually, I just realized, like, this was dumb of me. I just realized yesterday that it's Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter, and I didn't realize that's Bill and Ted.
Jamie Lloyd. You know that.
It is Jamie Lloyd, but I don't care about that. It's Bill and Ted.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's
but
funny.
In a very different situation.
But the thing is, it's not different. Like, that's why it's funny. Like, it's a good fit.
And we also discovered our last episode.
Sorry
that
to
everyone's
Jeff
doing
Ross,
Waiting
take a
for
banana for
Godot.
the ride. Yeah, there's a lot of Waiting for Godot this week for Godot in Toronto. But yeah. So, okay, I've made my apologies, but...
Musicals only. So we're going to kick it off with a summer open. We're not going to spend much time on this, although the ticket prices are astronomical. And I do think it probably maybe has potential to extend past however long their run is. And that's Mamma Mia. We actually can speak to this because we did see this exact cast.
Basically,
except
like
for
less
the
than a year
Sophie,
ago.
I think. Yeah.
Yes, the Sophie's different, but it's the same Donna, same Sky, I think.
Same Sky.
Same dads.
Same the other women, the trio, like it's all
same
they're
Tanya,
all
same
there.
Rosie.
Yeah.
We had an iconic moment happen where the
Mike.
The Stellan Skarsgård character's Mike went out right before it Take a Chance on Me.
Yeah.
And did
That
a
was funny.
stagehand walk out and hand him a mic, or did he go get a mic off stage? Something happened. He had a handheld mic.
Well, at first I thought he was trying to talk into her head mic.
Yeah, he was trying to pass a message on.
Yes, and then we had someone come out with the mic, and then we sang "Take a Chance on Me" with a handheld. So
And
you know.
The other iconic thing that I do want to bring up is after that song ended, he put the mic down and did not speak again for the rest of the show. So I was like, oh, okay, you're done, I guess, after this.
Yeah.
But yeah. Mamma Mia, I really have nothing to say here. Who cares?
Back at the Winter Garden, like
Winter Garden.
all I will say is
Home.
that again, from what I've seen online, like a really hard rush ticket to get apparently, and full price tickets are like so insanely priced, and people are paying full price. You know, people love Mamma Mia.
People love Mamma Mia, and you know what? The set still looks like you could blow it over
So true.
if you tried.
I just like picture it in that. I know it was at the Winter Garden previously, but like that's such a wide theater for that show.
It's so wide. And here's my evergreen criticism: can Sophie and Sky change for the finale? Why are they in the
cargo
khakis and the
pants
tank top?
are horrible.
Please let them put on a little disco outfit. Like take them off stage and put on a new outfit. It's so bad.
Anyway,
Yep.
happy for them. They're running right now currently and doing fine.
Whatever.
The next opening is October 6th, so kind of like a jump. We're not doing preview start times here. That's like all over the place. I actually don't even think this show has previews. I think it's opening just straight again from the tour.
Wikipedia has October 8th, but go on.
Oh. Previous resident of the Winter Garden now will be taking over the Palace Beetlejuice back on Broadway. Why is this happening?
I don't know either. I do think they had kind of like an awkward ending to their Broadway run. This is also something we saw very recently.
Yes.
So
and
we saw
there
the
will
tour.
be an episode coming out about this.
Yes, and so yeah, we have the info. I'll be curious to see if they upgrade any of the set or staging elements for being back in a Broadway house versus just being the tour, because it does look like it's kind of the final stop on the tour. We saw basically this exact cast except for the Lydia. It will be Isabella Esler, who we were lucky enough to see in Life After earlier this year, so we know her performance quality. But yeah.
Also, shout out to Justin Collette, who's playing Beetlejuice, who's Canadian, so that's fun.
East Coast.
But yes, I think the rest of like the touring cast is like pretty the same. I agree with you on the set. I really hope that we're taking away. You'll hear a lot more about this when we do a full episode, but I hope we take away the curtains with the projection, because there was a little too much of that in this tour set. And also there's just like some stage tricks that in a Broadway house, when it was a resident at the Winter Garden, they could do way more than what they did at the CAA Ed Mirvish here in Toronto.
For sure. I think that's just like the tour, they adapt it to be able to
100%.
fit in any house. And I honestly can't imagine we're getting trapdoors back here. I don't think that's going to happen.
But remember the drama about the snake here, that like some performances had the snake and others didn't?
Yeah. Did we get the snake? I think we got the snake.
I don't know. I think we got the snake, but I think it broke like during the run. And they had to fix it, or they had to send a backup snake. I'm not really sure what ended up happening, but I do know that the Toronto Theatre Reddit was like really invested in the life of the snake. So if you're interested, you can go there and find out more about that. But yeah, I think it's like fun that it will be, open over Halloween, because another show that's opening this season is not happening till the spring, which would also be fun to open over Halloween, but I'll talk about you later. But yeah, like, I don't know. Is this the time to ask the question that maybe we don't have the answers to, but like, what does this mean for awards eligibility for these shows that are doing these like really small revival runs?
Well, this is a really good question. And the one thing I'm going to point to here that is maybe not the exact same situation, but is the closest situation I can think of, is when they remounted the exact same cabaret production, the Sam Mendes cabaret production. So it was same staging, same choreography, same set, and all of that stuff was not eligible. So these tours are the quote-unquote Broadway production. So it's the same choreography, same staging, obviously adapted for certain things, but same orchestration, same arrangements. The only thing really different is the performers. So in my mind, in my opinion, this is not eligible for Best Revival of a Musical, because it is the same musical. There's no reinterpretation here. Are the actors potentially eligible? I don't know. Maybe. I feel like Michelle Williams. Was it Michelle Williams?
I think so.
Did she open that cabaret? Michelle Williams, I believe, was nominated for a Tony, but Alan Cumming, who was playing the MC again, was not, because it was the same performance. But you know what? Like, why am I pulling this out of my butt? Let's look this up.
I just think it's like, this is a question I think that we had as soon as we saw that these two shows were coming back to Broadway. And also, like, all that to say, the woman that's currently playing Donna in Mamma Mia, like, she's amazing. So I could easily see, depending on how long that show actually runs on Broadway, because I think it does currently have an out date, like, I could see that potentially in her future. But yeah, like, I don't know, is Justin Collette gonna be in conversation for Beetlejuice next June? Who knows?
Yeah, it's a great question. Okay, yeah, so for the 2014 Broadway revival of Cabaret, the only two nominees were Best Featured Actor in a Musical and Best Featured Actress in a Musical. Sorry to Michelle Williams, I gave you a Tony nomination you don't have. And
not yet, Michelle.
Not yet. Or maybe she does. Maybe she has a different one, but I don't think so. For Danny Burstein and Linda Emond for kind of like Fraulein Schneider, Schultz roles. But those were the only two nominations that they had.
Once like eligibility starts to come out for these shows, which will be in a few months, we'll have more information, because these will both be part of that first ruling of eligibility. Yeah. So we'll be able to have more answers. I would say, what is that? That first ruling comes out, is it the end of this year? Like December?
It should be around then.
Yeah, or if not the end of this year, like January next year. So we will keep an eye to let everybody know what's up with the old new revivals. Sticking with the revival train, on October 16th at the Vivian Beaumont, Ragtime.
Wow.
Now, we knew about this last year before it was even announced, I want to say.
I just feel like it was in the air. They assembled that all-star cast.
It was an Encores, right?
It was an Encores. They assembled such an amazing cast that it felt, crazy to not do anything with so many of these people. And I actually don't think it's the exact same production. I think it's a different production team. And I think it will be more staging than was at the encores.
Yes, we've heard more staging, bigger costumes, more
Thank
set,
God.
like all that.
I cannot handle another encores transfer like that. I'm so over it. I'm over it.
But yeah, speaking on that all-star cast, like Colin Donald, Josh Henry, Casey Levy, Ben Levi Ross, Stephanie Styles, Shayna Taub, Brandon Uranowitz, like I think they're all coming back. I'm not sure about like the ensemble. But yeah, like this is also yeah, go ahead.
It was New York City Center, right? Which is encores? Or is that different?
The Ragtime was the annual gala presentation, which, like,
Okay.
I will also speak on Bat Boy later, which is the annual gala presentation.
Okay.
I don't know. What was the other show that transferred from Encore? Oh, Parade, right?
Parade
was that also the annual gala presentation? I wonder.
I don't know. I'm playing around on their Wikipedia right now. But, like, what's it called? Once Upon a Mattress was an Encore transfer.
Which again, that one was like, those two have like very minimal staging, more like concert style. I feel like
it doesn't look like they have Ragtime listed as.
It's on New York City Center's website under the annual gala presentation page.
It's under special events, so it's not specifically encores, because encores I think its own separate series,
like a season,
a special event. So Bat Boy is special event. Ragtime special event. Pal Joey 2023, like Parade was a special event. Evita, Chorus Line, blah blah blah. So like they're considered different than their encore series.
And the season, right?
Yeah. I think it's just a shorter run. Also, is the thing, like 4 or 5 days, as opposed to encores, which is usually about 2-ish weeks.
Right. I just think that as soon as we heard that this was transferring and going to the Vivian Beaumont, like they were gonna do more with the set. Obviously, that's a huge space. We saw, a very minimal set at Floyd Collins earlier this year.
It calls for, but also wasn't Ragtime?
Was it there originally?
I'm
not sure.
I'm finding out.
I know about the Ragtime that was in Toronto because, we hear about this all the time.
Never forget, Shaw Festival 2012.
But what I will say is that when this was at New York City Center last year, like the reviews were insane. Like people were so
it was at what is now known as the Lyric Theater.
Oh, wow.
At the time, it was the Ford Center for the Performing Arts.
Oh, okay, great. So this like was not a shock to anybody, I think, but the fact that like that full cast or almost full cast is transferring is like really exciting, and sorry to so many people in this season, because I think there could be a handful of Tony nominations for the crew from Ragtime.
I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I don't even know if I got to see it, but I'm very excited.
Yeah. No, it's
Ben Levi Ross.
The rumors now are that
Shayna Taub.
It should maybe transfer, or sorry, not maybe transfer. It should maybe extend. But we'll see what happens with this, because like these are working busy actors, and I don't know what their schedules are like post the time that they've committed to for Ragtime. Anyway, then we get to our first new musical opening on November 10th at the St. James, and that's The Queen of Versailles. I actually don't care about this at all.
So, The Queen of Versailles, this is really interesting. So, we have a brand new Stephen Schwartz musical directed by Michael Arden. So, these are people I like. These are people I'm interested in. When was the last time Kristen Chenoweth originated a role? I can't even think of. It must be
Wicked. No,
it must have been
Promises. No, that's not originated. That's I don't know. I actually don't know.
Yeah, like when was the last time she originated a role? Like that's exciting to me, because she, I think, has such a unique perspective. I think she brings like really unique things to shows. What was the Apple Tree a revival? I don't know. On the 20th Century, that was a revival. I don't know. Yeah, so when was the last time she originated something? This is really interesting, and I think conceptually, I'm really curious. I think where they're gonna shine is something like set design, because it's about this family like renovating this house, but then sort of like running out of money. And I think the documentary that it's based on has really great reviews and is really interesting. So I think it's a really, really interesting concept. I haven't really heard any of the music, and that's kind of for me where a musical lives and dies. Like the concept is whatever, but how does the music sound to me? So I'm curious.
this was an early entry into this season. We actually might have talked about it last year because they had announced at like this time last year that this was going to be for the 2026 season. Yeah. It had a pre-Broadway tryout at the Emerson Colonial in Boston in 2024, and then it was like automatically like pushed into the 26 season. Out of that pre-Broadway tryout, the reviews are okay. They're not great. I think the book is like, again, where we struggle the most in musical theater, honestly.
It's really
We've talked about this a million times.
It's really hard.
But yeah, I'm not really sure about the music. I don't know. Like, I agree with you. I think like it has all of the like check marks to be something that I'm interested in, yet I'm really not. Like, I just like don't really care about the Queen of Versailles.
Okay, should we read some headlines? Headlines?
Yes, bring it back.
Let's bring it back. It's our favorite segment. Okay, so this is actually interesting because we famously saw Gatsby at ART last summer, and they had a bit of overlap. So this headline, wow, which is gone, but it said, because it was New York Times. I just got paywalled as I was speaking. 2 new musicals poke at the seamy underbelly of the American dream. So comparing it to Gatsby, here's from Variety. The Queen of Versailles review, Kristen Chenoweth shines in a lavish new musical with a social satire bite. Okay.
That's good variety.
That's good variety. Let's go to Theater Mania. Okay. Kristen Chenoweth led The Queen of Versailles has curb appeal, but not much else. Oh, no, not Theater Mania. Let's see. Let's do one more. Let's do a local. Boston Herald. What do you got for me, Boston Herald? Chenoweth goes for gold in Queen of Versailles. Okay, that wasn't really good.
That's really not giving much, Boston Herald's.
Okay,
that sounds
Boston
like a cop-out of a
Boston
headline.
Globe, let's see. Okay, here's one. Chenoweth charms, but Broadway-bound The Queen of Versailles is a mixed bag. In its world premiere at the Emerson Colonial, the musical's high notes soared, but there's still some work to do. Interesting.
Okay. I don't know. It's at the St. James, so realistically, like, I cannot return to the St. James.
Like, we gotta return to the
St. so many times. But yeah, we'll see what happens based on the, this show has not even had previews yet on Broadway, but based on the Broadway Theater Reddit, people are like, it's closing early, I can already tell you. And it's like, okay, that's confident.
It has Tammy Faye energy to me.
That's what I was going to say. Like, unfortunately, it does have Tammy Faye energy, which, like, sorry, Kristen Chenoweth, but, like, we don't need this for you.
I'm curious. I love, I think it's interesting. Her, F. Murray Abraham, I think, plays her husband. Like, yes. Be in a new musical. Maybe it'll flop. I don't know.
No, great. But at least you're trying
develop something new, We don't need to always be in revivals. Like, talking about Idina Menzel, Redwood flopped, but she doesn't revive. She's always in a new musical. She's always developing new work, and I really appreciate that about her.
We have to applaud.
Okay, go on.
Speaking of revivals, we're back to revivals on this next opening on November 16th at the Imperial Theater. Chess. We have been talking about the Chess rumored revival for what feels like years. And never in my wildest dreams did I think that we were going to get a Leah Michele, Aaron Tveit, Nicholas Christie, Christopher, Chess. And they're working social media right now. They're trying to get people interested in chess, and they're doing it in a way that they're not really telling people what this musical is about.
I mean, it's about chess. Like, I don't know. I'm so unfamiliar with chess. I know nothing about chess.
I saw a production of Chess a very long time ago in Toronto, which was actually iconic because all of the musicians were dressed as chess pieces and they sat on stage to make out the chessboard, which was great. We did go to the ABBA Museum where we saw the chess section. We tried to play that piano game, but it was so hard.
It was really
we were
hard.
not able to play that game.
It was really hard. Think about it. So much Benny and Bjorn on Broadway this season with Mamma Mia and now this.
Yeah. We've heard a few snippets. I know you're indifferent to what we've heard.
I think to me the most iconic, there are 2 iconic songs for me from Chess based on what I know. And one is One Night in Bangkok, and we've heard like a little bit of that, and I was kind of like, oh, okay. And then what I'm truly waiting for is Nobody's Side.
Nobody's Side.
Now, can Leah Michele sing? Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
But will she deliver the sass that this requires, the attitude?
I think she can. I think what's disappointing to me about this revival is that from what we've read, they are taking the Jamie Lloyd school of minimalist And I don't know that we need to do this every time, unless you're Jamie Lloyd,
Yeah, I do. Like, is it going to be like concert staging?
That's what I've heard.
I'm annoyed.
But I don't know for sure.
I'm over it.
But here's the thing. Aaron Tveit sells tickets. Leah Michelle sells tickets, so it really doesn't matter what it looks like.
Well, but, is it something exciting? I mean, I'm interested because they've been really working on this new book by Danny Strong for years. It's directed by Michael Mayer, who I like.
Love. Wow, a reunion for him and Leah.
It is. So true. But yeah, so I like those people. Bryce Pinkham, I like him. I like Sean Allen Krill, sort of, I guess. I guess I don't feel that strongly about him, to be fair, but, good for you.
Every time I see his name pop up, I'm like, congrats, you still are working. Like, good for you.
No, he was good in Floyd Collins.
I thought he was really good in Floyd Collins.
Jagged Little Pill, like, he's here. Wait, what did I was just reading on...
The other woman is also
He
good.
made his Broadway debut as Sam in Mamma Mia. I know.
Wow.
Hannah Cruz as Svetlana.
Great voice.
So
voice.
I'm interested, I guess.
I think that's the reoccurring theme of this episode is I think I'm interested. Whereas like 2 weeks ago we were like, I'm so excited for Octet. I'm so excited for Aunt Juliet. And this I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of interested.
Yeah, it's
Look, these are like, again, these are two people that like I am big fans of. So like I wouldn't say no to Chess, obviously. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I feel uninspired by the lack of originality.
Yeah, I agree. But, we have been waiting for a Chess revival for a very, very long time. And 100%. Famously, the book is not good. So,
yeah, let's work on that.
And
we are working on that.
And we have been working on that. The collective, we have been working on that.
We have all been working
on that. And so I want to see, like, can Chess be fixed? Or is Chess just an imperfect musical that you have to accept, like, flaws and all?
Right.
Or is it somewhere in the middle? We will see.
I don't know.
We will see.
Exactly.
Will we?
And then I guess, like, speaking of originality, we are getting another original new musical, and that's Two Strangers, in brackets, Carry a Cake Across New York. The Longacre is slightly cursed, so, like, we'll see what lasts at the Longacre. Broadway debut for Sam Tutty, who loves Sam Tutty. He has such a great voice. A previous Evan Hansen on the West End.
And he did Two Strangers in the West End and is transferring with the production.
Oh, wow. That, like, fully contradicts what I said earlier of we don't have a current West End production transfer, but we absolutely do with this show.
It's kind of out of town at ART earlier this year.
Yes.
So it did the West End, it did ART with a new female lead. The female lead did not transfer, and now it's coming to Broadway.
Do you know who's the current... The female lead is... What's her name?
Christiane Pitts
is her last name.
Who
I famously saw in
King Kong. King Kong. I know.
I think when this went to ART, this was like an automatic, this is coming to Broadway situation. I think they just wanted to maybe like test it in front of an American audience, to be honest.
Yeah, see what.
I've listened to this cast recording. I think it's really good. I love the song New York. I think Sam Tutty has a beautiful voice. And I do think that this fits into the category of like your Broadway fangirl needs a new show to be obsessed with. So... here we are.
Yeah, I very much agree. I think it has like sort of a specific audience randomly.
Yes.
Us. Yeah, no, for sure. It's like your favorite, your favorite actor's favorite show. Like it's not, I don't know. I think it's, it's a two-hander. There's two people in it. So it's at the Longacre, which is like, I don't know, medium-sized to me. Yeah, I'm curious to see how it's received, especially because I don't think it's like a super big show. But the biggest hit of this past season was maybe Happy Ending, which is like a 4-person show and is really kind of like a personal show, though it does have like a beautiful, crazy set. So yeah, I'm really curious to see how it's received here.
The like short synopsis is that is his name like Dougal? Is that how you say it? Dougal?
Probably Dougal.
Dougal? Whatever his name
is. Is he British in the show?
Yes.
Okay.
He's British. He comes to New York to attend a wedding of the father he's never met.
Okay.
And then Robin is the sister of the bride. So it's kind of like, you know, your typical rom-com movie of two people are getting married and the kids have never met each other. And I feel like, are they going to fall in love too? Because that's a little weird. Maybe they'll just be besties. I feel like I've seen many, like, a Netflix Hallmark-esque movie like this.
You know what it's kind of
really do
reminding
think
me
that
of?
this is for me.
That, like, Netflix movie that the
plane
like,
one.
Yes, where they, like, meet on the plane, and then, like,
I
he's
love that
going to
movie.
his, like, mom's, like, wake, but she's still alive, and she's going to her dad's wedding.
It's the girl from the White Lotus, right? Haley.
Yes, it's Haley Lee
something.
Richardson. Yes.
Yes, I really like that movie.
I thought it was
I
a
think you
bit
were
slow.
meh on that movie.
I thought it was a bit
But
slow.
it is like that. It is giving that.
Okay, should we do some headlines?
Yes, let's
we
do
do
some
some
headlines.
headlines?
Well, are we doing some West End headlines or are we doing some ART headlines?
I was looking for some ART headlines.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I
We'll
think
get the
that's
American view.
Okay, ART's Two Strangers is a fun musical rom-com. That's from WBUR. That's local.
Okay.
The Boston Globe. Do not paywall me right now. Two Strangers is an homage and a rethinking of the rom-com. The show makes its North American premiere at ART in Cambridge. Okay, that wasn't really a good second headline, but that's fine. Arts Views. A confectionery romance. Two Strangers
Okay.
succeeds as a fun rom-com. The musical sometimes ladles on the sugary frosting, but it's a pretty tasty dessert.
Okay, we actually used way too many baking puns in that headline.
We did really use a lot of baking puns. Okay, here's one from the West End.
Oh, here's one from the BBC. Two Strangers, critics rave about new millennial rom-com musical.
Cute.
Like, I agree. I think it is in the same vein of, like, maybe Happy Ending, which is also, I swear to God, this is definitely a love story, but I think it's, I don't know, we'll see what happens.
Potential step-siblings
I've, like,
falling in love. I think it's okay, though. They're not related.
Yeah.
We have no idea. We're just making stuff up.
No, yeah, we don't know, but I'm sure it's, like, beloved by someone over in the West End, so, like, please come to the comments, tell us what we need to know.
Yes, like, we want to know. What should we be seeing? What should we be excited about?
Yeah.
Well, we are excited about this one. I think this is one of the more compelling ones.
Well, I'm also excited about the next one that doesn't have an
Please.
actual date other than spring 2026, and this is another Michael Arden vehicle, The Lost Boys.
Yes.
Now, has there been a production? I'm not sure that there's been a production. Don't quote me on that. We can find out this information right now. But what I will say is that there was some sort of concert with Casey Levy, who, as we know, is also in Ragtime, but she was, like, starring in this Lost Boys concert, whatever that was, and the music was really good. So, again, like, as you said earlier, we are Michael Arden fans.
100%. Speaking of maybe happy ending.
Exactly. This is going to the Palace Theater because Beetlejuice is a limited run, so that will be out by the time this moves in, whenever that is in the spring. But yeah, sorry, I should have said that Two Strangers, like, ends our fall season. Nothing else has been announced right now for the fall, and then the rest of the shows that we're about to talk about are, like, they don't really have dates, but we know that it's sometime
Announced for
before
this
the
season.
Tony cutoff. Yeah.
The only thing that's happened previously is an invitation-only industry presentation. Casey Levy, Casey Likes, Lorna Courtney, you know, they're
in Heather's right now. They're booked.
All three of those are kind of busy right now, so who knows?
You know what? I remember this industry reading because Casey Likes left Back to the Future, I want to say, for like a week to do this.
Interesting. To do this Lost Boys reading. Casey Likes is like always in a reading. He's always doing a reading.
Good for him.
No, it's good.
Good for him.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's great. I love his voice. I think he's so talented. I think he works, he hustles, but he's always doing a reading. And you know, Lorna Courtney, love her. Where is Empire Records? Where's that?
I don't know. I didn't even put it on the
I
list.
think that might be dead too.
Because I think it's dead. I think
really
it's dead,
love
dead.
Like we loved that.
We
that
loved
was
it so much.
good.
That was the show that made me cry the most that entire
Sobbed.
trip, which was
I
crazy.
sobbed for hours. In the second
This
row.
is also based on the movie The Lost Boys.
Yes,
which I've never seen.
I've never
You
seen
know who
it.
follows
So
this account? Sorry, I'm on the Instagram page. Felipe Arroyo follows this account.
oh, interesting.
He's busy. He's gonna be in Spelling Bee, but
He is
also
busy.
like this is on Broadway, so
Okay, so here I'm going to read something from the Playboy article announcing The Lost Boys coming to Broadway. The Lost Boys uses vampirism to explore the physical transformation, sexual awakening, and identity experimentation of a teenager's coming of age. When the brotherly duo of Michael and Sam moved to the fictional town of Santa Carla, California with their working mother and eccentric grandfather, they inadvertently end up in the crosshairs of a group of teenage rebel vampires and adolescent vampire hunters.
I'm interested.
You're interested. I mean, I love a vampire.
We love the Vampire Diaries. And this is maybe giving slightly that.
So, yeah, I'm interested. But yeah, I've never seen this movie either.
Yeah, the Instagram page has like a few, actually like more videos than I was expecting, to be honest. The composers are The Rescues. Are you familiar with The Rescues?
I am not familiar with The Rescues.
This is just based on, sorry, we're like live, reading things here because there's a lot happening and we can't possibly have all of this stuff just like in our heads. Wait, Patrick Wilson is producing this, like actor Patrick Wilson.
Was he in the movie?
Was he in the movie?
Was he in the movie?
It's times like this and I'm like, we're so unaware,
I know. I don't know. Kiefer Sutherland was in the movie. Jason Patric, Corey Feldman, Corey Feldman,
about to be in Dance with the Stars.
Yeah,
actually, by the time this episode comes out, who knows if Corey Feldman was still
maybe he's gone already.
Anyway, The Rescues are a rock band, an American rock band from Los Angeles formed in 2008. The music can be classified as indie pop / rock. Okay, like, sure. That's cool. Interesting to bring, like a rock influence to this vampire musical. Why not?
Yeah. So interesting.
Anyway, that's really all we have on this because, again, the only thing that we know is that there's a theater and that spring. There's no cast attached to this because the cast that was in the workshop is booked and busy and we don't have a date. So we're just kind of going off of not much. Mm-hmm. Which then also leads to our next musical, a revival. One I think it should be opening in the fall, but here we are opening in the spring at Studio 54, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm actually the most, I think, excited
not to correct, but I believe it's just...
Sorry, not Picture Show.
I think it's just the Rocky Horror Show.
The Rocky Horror Show. Picture Show is the movie. Sorry. I would say this is my most anticipated as of right now.
Yeah, I really think this could go in any direction. What makes me excited is that it's being directed by Sam Pickleton, who did Oh Mary. And which we loved and is so funny and has that like perfect level of like camp and sincerity at the same time. So that's what interests me here. We know nothing about the cast. So I think this show also is pretty like make or break on cast. So I think, I'm waiting with bated breath for this announcement, but we have nothing yet.
We're waiting with bated breath for specifically Wesley Taylor to be in this show, but
we'd love,
we'll
please.
Whoever.
Please.
What's exciting to me too is that it's at Studio 54 and I've never been. So
Studio 54. Yeah, like I'd love should we have a trans actor play Frankenfurter? I think that would be really fun. I think there's just a lot of really interesting things we do with casting. We can do a set, we can do a staging here, and I'm optimistic.
Yeah. It's also one of those shows that because it has such name recognition, like they could easily stunt cast this with somebody for a couple of those roles at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We've seen this on stage one time.
Wow,
I wouldn't say that it was like a fully staged production of Rocky Horror. We've talked about this a bajillion times, but I think one of our biggest regrets is not seeing Stratford's Rocky Horror way back in the day, because that was the one that I've heard like such incredible things about. Mm-hmm. Wow, when was the last time this was on Broadway? I feel like it's been
So I believe it was the early 2000s, but I actually think that was its kind of original Broadway production because it was an off-Broadway show originally. In early 1975, they wanted to open on Broadway just before the film's release. It was anticipated this production would be as successful as Jesus Christ Superstar and serve as a public vehicle for the film version. It was unsuccessful and closed after 45 performances. So there was the next Broadway revival was in 2000, and it ran from October 2000 to January 2002. I remember I've seen a performance of this maybe on like the Rosie O'Donnell show. They performed Time Warp. So let's talk about it. Tom Hewitt as Frankenfurter, Alice Ripley as Janet, Jared Emick as Brad, Raul Esparza as Riff Raff, Joan Jett as Columbia, like Leah Delaria as Eddie Dr. Scott, Daphne Bruman Vega as Magenta. Like this was a cast. And then the narrator, they would stunt cast. So Gilbert Gottfried did it, like Penn and Teller did it. Jerry Springer did it, so they would stunt cast the narrator, which is like super fun, and I think it's interesting. And then this was one of the shows that closed because of financial losses after 9/11. Like, that was just kind of a massacre in that time of financial losses.
Like, here's the thing. Rocky Horror has a built-in audience, obviously. It's a cult fan fave, like, for sure. I think that also comes with a lot of expectation, and unfortunately, whoever is cast in this is gonna hear about it on the internet, like, good or bad. Like, we're gonna get so many comments from everybody, and if someone's not happy with the casting, we're gonna hear about it, like, left, right, and center. So I hope that, like, I don't know. I hope that I hope Sam Pinkleton, who I think we do trust at this point.
I do
but
trust
I hope
him.
He's, like, looking at the internet, looking at who people are, like, obsessed with these days. Like, but I don't know. This is
but don't listen to us too much, okay?
No, not too much. Like, still have your own input. I mean, was it Broadway Ben? I think it was Broadway Ben who posted, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it was Broadway Ben, who posted months ago being like, Cola Scola plays every single role in Rocky Horror.
Sure.
And
why not?
Cola Scola, Frankenfurter, like, let's go. I'm ready. A little short, but, like, I'm ready.
You know, you can do
anything.
anything.
Really have to wear those, like, gigantic stilettos to be Frankenfurter. But yeah, I just think that, like, we should really be, as you said, like, looking at this cast, because I do think it could make or break this show for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited because I just think it's such a classic. It's so fun. It's so silly. It's camp. And I'm pumped about that. I love it. Yeah,
agree. That's kind of where we end on the, like, announced theaters, I would say. And then the next ones that we're about to go into have been announced as 2026, but that's all we have, except for one that's been announced as 2025. But, like, where are you? Because I don't know how that's going to happen. Actually, let's start with that one then, because announced for 2025 is Midnight in the Garden of Eden.
No, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil.
Why did I write Eden?
I don't know.
I think I was just like, wow, Garden of Eden. Anyway, say it again.
Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil is a musical with music and lyrics by Jason Robert Brown and a book by Taylor Mack. Based on John Berent's 1994 nonfiction novel of the same name, it premiered on July 8th, 2024 at the Goodman Theater in Chicago. We have a friend who saw this.
Yeah, my friend Jared saw this, and he said it was pretty good, like, interesting. Probably needed work, but that Sierra Boggess was, like, incredible. Which, she's great. Their current website says coming to Broadway 2025.
Okay, well, I'll believe it when I see it.
Jason Robert Brown.
The musical follows on an antiques dealer who is on trial for the murder of a male prostitute in Savannah, Georgia, based on the killing of Danny Hansford. Okay.
Okay.
There was a reading in 2014, Tony Goldwyn, Leslie Uggams, Jessica Malaski. The adaptation was then
Tony Goldwyn is always here.
So that was someone else. That was a different production. And then in 2023, Jason Robert Brown and Taylor Mack were involved. There was a reading in May 2023. So, yeah, they had songs in it. But then they brought in Jason Robert Brown. So in the musical, the audience plays... I'm on Wikipedia. This is interesting. The audience plays the role of John Berent, the author, and the characters often break the fourth wall. He and Taylor Mack met a number of times for dinner where he was able to discuss stories that were not included in the novel and events following its publication. This is so interesting. They visited Savannah. Okay. And they did readings. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so the Chicago run was in 2024 at the Goodman Theater. Directed by Rob Ashford. Starred J. Harrison Ghee as the Lady Chablis, Tom Hewitt as Jim Williams, Sarah Boggess as Emma Dawes. But yeah, then we're kind of like in limbo here.
Yeah. There's been no info on this since then.
I'm looking for some reviews. Let's go. Okay, Variety, what are you going to tell me? Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, a musical adaptation is a promising, boldly unconventional retelling anchored by standout performances. Okay, Variety.
Okay, that's good, Variety.
Okay, Variety. Okay, let's see. Chicago Tribune. Okay, there's 2 reviews. The Variety one and the Chicago Tribune. Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil at the Goodman Theater is gutsy, but needs a conflict worthy of its star. Okay. And that's kind of all Playbell's got.
And that's it.
So,
great.
Thank you for that.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens with that one. Another show that's been announced for 2026, and they just ended their, I guess, pre-Broadway run, is Dolly, a true original musical. This had its out of town in Nashville. There are 3 versions of Dolly. There's like a young Dolly, then there's, I think, like
Middle Dolly.
I don't know if she's middle Dolly, and then like Dolly, but not like today's Dolly. Anyway, the 2 older ones were played by Carrie St. Louis and Katie Rose Clark, like 2, very talented previous Galindas on Broadway. I have seen some like TikTok reviews, specifically Ashley Hufford's, and the review was that this needs a lot of work. And I'm like not really surprised that it needs a lot of work. Sometimes these like bio jukebox musicals, when you have people playing multiple generations of the same person, like it's a lot of storytelling we're trying to do here.
It is a tried and true format, and yet I think we need to abandon this format. I'm over it. I'm over this Share Show, Summer, this.
I mean, MJ does it, but they do it differently.
MJ does it different. There
are
MJ
still
defenders
3
here,
versions
unfortunately.
There's still 3 versions of Michael in the musical, but it feels different.
It's not.
It's
the
different.
same. It's different. Okay. Yeah, there was sort of like some controversy around Dolly the musical with the open casting calls, and then they just cast people in the industry anyway.
Yeah, there were so many
a little bit of a
people
bad taste in people's mouths.
That we saw from like the Toronto, the Ontario like theater scene, like submit their online auditions.
Jessica Gallant, like
she was great.
I'm a fan. I'm always a fan. Do we want some headlines?
Yes, headlines, please.
Okay, American Songwriter. Dolly Parton's musical is a triumph. From the moment the curtain opened, the audience was greeted by Dolly Parton's iconic silhouette, the big boobs, the tiny waist, the massive hair. Something not unlike magic filled Nashville's Fisher Center for the Performing Arts. Also, like, the out of town was in Nashville, so, like, a hometown crowd, if you will.
And I think she was there for, like, multiple performances.
Some of these news publications that I'm reading from are a little bit shocking. This one's called Cowboys and Indians. Like, not this. Review. Dolly delights in Nashville. Okay, that's all. we need some creativity here. Knox News is giving Dolly Parton and those who shaped the Queen of Country shine in honest, hilarious musical. Here's our review. Thank you.
Okay, these are all positive. This is not
positive. This was in Nashville, though. I don't know. We need some more info.
Yeah. And again, like, we don't know where this is going. We don't know when it's opening. I would assume that, like, at least Katie Rose Clark and Carrie St. Louis would reprise their roles because, like, they're Broadway actresses, so it would just make sense to me. I don't know. I like, for some reason, unlike other bio jukebox, like, I don't see this one having, like, a huge fan base. But maybe I'm completely wrong in that, and everyone lives for Dolly Parton.
People do live for Dolly Parton. Dolly wrote new music for this, which...
Great.
You know, Dolly is Parton's second musical theater outing because she also has 9 to 5. So...
Working 9 to 5. Should
have
stayed there. Is 9 to 5, like, in this musical? Like, do you think we get to the 9 to 5 chunk of her life?
It must be. Like, that is pretty... Iconic of Dolly. Like, that is, to me, probably her most famous song.
I agree. I don't think I could name you another Dolly Parton song.
Okay, but yeah, here we go. Like,
oh wait, wasn't she the original on, like, I Will Always Love You?
She wrote it. I Will Always Love You.
That's definitely in the musical.
That might be in there. Yeah. This is someone on Reddit, like a random stranger. Dolly's musical left me angry. The direction, the book, and the story was truly one of the worst things I've ever seen. So
these are the headlines we want, Nashville. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just want something.
Again, but this is just a random Redditor.
Crazy.
Like, please, it's a random Redditor. Yeah, I don't know if... I understand why they did the out-of-town in Nashville, but I don't know if that's good for, let's say, the development of the musical.
It should be in a place where, like, you know, the person doesn't have the most fans. Like, let's go somewhere else. Bring it to Toronto. Let's see what happens.
Please. Like, yeah, when we don't have such a specific... country audience here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The next one is one that we're very excited about. We tried to see many, like, when we were in New York.
It didn't run quite long enough for when we were there.
It extended like a million times, but it didn't extend for the millionth and one time for us to see it. Cats, the Jellicle Ball. There are articles that, like, there was an article that was released, I don't know the publication, but they were the ones that broke the news that it was transferring to Broadway, but, like, no theater, no day, no nothing.
We still don't have one.
The rumor was that, like, we're waiting for Circle in the Square, but, like, now people think that Just in Time is gonna extend past January, which is fine, but the longer it extends, like, that Tony cutoff stays the same time, so we have to work around that time frame.
I'm gonna talking about the August Wilson.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna pitch the August Wilson because it's ready to be in the round right now. And
yeah, I don't know what producing company is doing Cats Jellicle Ball, and if they can work with, I think it's ATG who did Cabaret, to kind of, what can we do with that house? What can we do with that space?
Because, you know, the last time that we saw a theater be transformed and then turned right back was when Here Lies Love was at the Broadway, and then Gatsby moved in and they put it right back to what it was before.
Well, so as part of when you transform a theater in such a material way like this, part of your capitalization up front is the money set aside to return the theater to its original form. So Cabaret has that money set aside. What we do know is Cabaret has lost a lot of money.
Do they still have that money set aside?
Well, you have to have it. Like, it's just part of how it works. What we do know is Cabaret has lost a lot of money. And so I wonder if there's something can be done. We're just pitching random stuff. We're talking out of our butts here. But what can something be done here?
Yeah, I just am like, the space is ready to go for Cats the Jellicle Ball, so just put it in there.
Yeah, like, I don't know exactly what they would, if there's anything else. Like, if I think the thing about Cats the Jellicle Ball is that it was a really long runway was the stage, and it kind of had audience on two sides. So I don't know if the way the August Wilson is set up works for that runway, because it's kind of in almost the wrong direction. But I don't know. Maybe you don't need to put it all the way back together. And August Wilson's about to be open. So
I actually think by the time this episode is released, it is open. The August Wilson is currently open.
August Wilson's open.
Yeah, like, this is a different revival of Cats. This is not your standard, you know, Cats in leotards running through the audience. Or so I think. Maybe I'm wrong on that, because maybe it is. But this is based on, like,
ballroom culture.
But
not ballroom Dancing with the Stars ballroom, like queer dancing ballroom culture. I think there was a show on, maybe was it HBO a few years ago, that really delved into ballroom culture. But if we're looking for, like, some sort of primer. Yeah. But yeah, so this has intrigued me probably more than anything else, probably more than any of the other revivals here. I'm really excited about the way that Andrew Lloyd Webber has really allowed his musicals, and seems to be embracing his musicals being reinterpreted so wildly. It's exciting to me with what we just saw with Sunset Boulevard.
He was at Masquerade last night.
I was going to say Masquerade. Like, that's so cool. Cats the Jellicle Ball. Because I think it only reflects well on him. That his musicals can survive this insane reimagining.
Yeah. This was a super hot ticket when it was out, and I don't know if you have any headlines, but people were obsessed with Cats the Jellicle Ball. Like, would return many times. The costumes were, like, unbelievable. Andre DeShields was in it, really serving.
Was that Old Deuteronomy?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we can do here. I'm gonna have to be fast on New York Times because it's gonna paywall me immediately. But Jesse Green said, "A 10th life for those Jellicle cats now on the runway, resetting the memory musical in the world of ballroom competitions." And we lost it. One more time.
Jesse
that was
Green
the that was the subject.
The
world of ballroom competitions makes for a joyful reincarnation. Wow. That's great. Theater Mania, let's see. Zachary Stewart at Theater Mania said, "The Jellicle Ball is the most fun I've ever had in an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical. Zaylon Livingston and Bill Rauch radically reimagined the musical feline death ritual. And these pictures look amazing." Who did the choreography?
No, any photos that we've seen, any video, like, little elements that we've seen, this was a potential conversation we probably had last year if it was going to transfer to Broadway, but like, happy they waited, although it is a very busy revival year, but this feels different. It feels different.
Yeah, choreography by Omari Wiles and Arturo Lyons. Just want to shout them out because I feel like that is maybe
main
the star of
Yeah.
the show. Let's
Yeah.
see, what does Time Out New York say? Adam Feldman, what does he say here?
Oh, Adam
The
Feldman.
fur
Haven't heard
the
from you.
fur flies in an absolutely fabulous new spin on Cats. Okay.
Good, Adam Feldman.
That's nice. Let's see. New York Theater Guide. Cats the Jellicle Ball. Review a perfectly, and I'd say perfectly, like revelatory imagining of a classic musical.
Not a bad one in there, from what I hear.
No, it's all really good. Okay, one more. New York Post. Let's see what we got. The most fun you'll have at the theater this summer. So it basically all seems to be you will have an absolute blast.
I think the overarching like review was that it's just like pure joy. Everybody walked out like having the best time ever, and again, like as I said, like could not wait to return. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what theater it ends up in.
I want to shout out my friend who recently went on a cruise this summer on the Oasis of the Seas and came back the next day and was like, Steph, what's happening with Cats? And I'm like, girl, where to even begin? Where to begin? Because Cats has been running on the Oasis of the Seas for years. I saw it on the Oasis of the Seas in, 2016. And it was still running this summer. And again, where to begin? So...
You can go see Ballroom Queer Cats on Broadway and also regular, like, scheduled
it's like
programming Cats
the
on
Broadway
Oasis
staging.
of the Sea.
It is like the original Broadway staging on the Oasis of the Seas. It's crazy. The giant stove, like the garbage dump. It's crazy.
Wow. And then kind of before we get into the potentials to round out the, 26 announcements. But also, like, based on what's happening in, the media right now, is this show ever going to actually make it? And that's Wanted, which used to be called Gun and Powder. This was at Paper Mill. I swear there that we saw Gatsby, because I'm pretty sure I have it, like, on the cup that I have.
Yes, it is. It is on the cup that we had. Wanted, The Legend of the Sisters Clark, is announced for this season.
Do you want to very briefly go over the lawsuit?
So, I've actually been reading a bit about the lawsuit because I'm very, very interested in the legalities of this. So, basically, Sierra Renee did the out-of-town tryout at Paper Mill Playhouse and then was continued to... There's a lot more people who've done kind of a lot more in-depth, like, discussions on this, but a simple explanation. After she did the out-of-town tryout, she was continued to be used as, and introduced as a member of the future Broadway cast to potential investors, and used in readings, performed songs as a way to drum up money for the potential Broadway production. And then kind of around the time it was announced, and her original contract for the off-Broadway production basically said, they would agree to, and this is probably standard contract language, like negotiate in good faith for an eventual Broadway transfer, but they kind of followed up with her at some point before, they followed up with her to say basically, we will not be inviting you to the Broadway production because you were difficult to work with and all of these things, which is feedback she had never received before. And just the week before, she had been invited to perform on behalf of the musical to get investors. So basically, she's suing for essentially 9 months of pay, because at certain points she was traveling to these events at her own expense to be part of the show. So I do think it leaves a bit of a bad taste, but I do think there's also a lot of people, myself included, are confused about what this lawsuit means. I with her, but I also wonder, and many people wonder, if you are not cast in something, like, was there an actual agreement? I don't even know how to say this properly. Like, there was no confirmed agreement that she was going to be in the Broadway show. It was
she didn't
verbal
sign a contract.
and no, it was all like verbal and suggested. Which verbal contracts are also contracts. So I think this has an opportunity to become really nuanced and really messy, and also maybe set the tone for future productions. I mean, famously, Patti LuPone has the Angela Weber Memorial Pool when they didn't bring her over to Broadway with Sunset Boulevard. No, and she sued because of that, and she installed a pool with the money she won because there was an agreement to bring her over to Broadway. and they did not uphold that agreement. So yeah, this is kind of like a similar situation to that.
Again, like, we have not heard much about this musical since they kind of said that it was going to be on Broadway, but like, she's in every promotional photo that they're using on every website.
She's in the production. Who is it? It's Soleil Pfeiffer and Emery River Latman.
I think so. It was Lisa LaFontaine and Sierra Renee.
Right.
At the time. But yeah, it just says Gun and Powder, Wanted, formerly known as Gun and Powder, will arrive on Broadway in 2026 at Broadway theaters, yet to be announced.
New York Times, we're going to have to go really fast because of the paywall, but here we go. Reviewed twin vigilantes stake claim to the American West. The musical traces the history of black twin sisters who pass as white and exact their own form of justice for the crime of slavery. Oh, so close. One more time. For the crime of slavery in 19th century Texas.
Wow.
Sure. The payroll comes up like in 10 seconds, so you gotta like really go fast. Okay, what does Broadway World say? Gun and Powder at Peppermill Playhouse, an exciting, elaborate new musical. Okay, here's one from Theaterly. Gun and Powder, shoot straight. Review. Okay. This one says...
I would say yes, because the book and lyrics are by Angelica Cherie, who is a descendant of the Clark sisters. So I would say yes, it's based on the real Clark sister.
Based on family histories passed down to book and lyric writer Angelica Cherie.
Like...
That's exciting. That's interesting.
I feel like it's probably very good. I just agree with you. I think right now there's like an asterisk beside it because they need to figure this out before they start like heavily promoting this show. Because we can't ignore what's happening. I mean, you can, but like they shouldn't ignore what's happening.
No, for me, this is really interesting. I'm really curious to see how this lawsuit is going to pan out because I like the business side of Broadway and contracts. Like this is my special interest. This is really interesting to me, and just to see like the agreements here. But yeah, and I'm curious to see how it will impact future contract.
That's kind of it for 2026.
Confirmed,
as in, like, there's nothing to talk about, but we're here, an hour into this episode talking about all of these things.
Shall we kind of like rapid fire through some things that are not announced but think could be happening?
Yes, there's one that I didn't put on this list, but I'll get to it later. But first, let me just put out here, Goddess, the musical that was at the Public, got really good reviews last year in New York, and there's like, I don't know, I feel like whenever something's at the Public, there's potential for it to transfer. And then I would say the next one that I actually think potentially does really have legs because it's currently having a tryout. I don't know if it's a tryout for Broadway or they're just doing a run at Arena Stage is Damn Yankees. And apparently this revival is very good. However, do we need another revival this season?
I know. And yeah, like, I'm sure this Damn Yankees revival is good, but I just don't care about Damn Yankees. I'm so sorry.
I just think that them getting MLB sponsorship is like a huge deal.
That's
and
fun.
It's also
That's
important to you because Quentin Earl Darrington is in this production. And what does that mean for something else that's on this list?
Well, let's go to it. Let's come to what
And if you want the full thoughts on 3 Summers of Lincoln, you can listen to our Shaw Festival episode, our Obsession of the Week.
Like, I'm just like crossing things out as we talk about them. Just like me talking to Tara, logistics. I got it. We spoke about 3 Summers of Lincoln recently because there was a great podcast series, Freakonomics, that really like delved into the development of 3 Summers of Lincoln that I found really compelling, and I would highly recommend anyone else listen to. And Quentin Earl Darrington plays. Oh my God, I'm gonna forget his name.
Not Lincoln, because
no, he does. He famously does not.
Oh, the friend, right? The person that spends 3 summers with Lincoln.
Yes, exactly. Sorry, I'm just looking this up. Wow, this is what a nightmare.
Also, just to bounce back on the Arena Stage, the star of Damn Yankees is Jordan Donica, and we always love Jordan
Donica.
What a voice. Arena Stage is in Washington, I believe. And 3 Summers of Lincoln had its run in La Jolla earlier this year, which is in San Diego.
Frederick Douglass. Okay. Not famously, but Quentin Earl Darrington is playing Frederick Douglass in 3 Summers of Lincoln, or he did play Frederick Douglass in 3 Summers of Lincoln earlier this year. That show, as we spoke about, kind of went through a bit of a contentious process in losing its star, Brian Stokes Mitchell, who's playing Lincoln, pretty soon before the show. Before the show premiered, before the tickets went on sale at La Jolla Playhouse. So, I think that kind of puts it in a bit of limbo, because wondering, are investors as excited about a show that used to have this really big star that maybe no longer does? Yeah, we haven't really heard anything to follow up about it. However, the book apparently is really, really strong on Three Summers of Lincoln, which is the hardest part to get right.
Yeah.
And they have really, really interesting choreography, music.
When we were talking about this, I had seen a Reddit post that was like, I don't know if this show is coming to Broadway, but if it does, it's already winning Best Book of a Musical this season. So, like, interesting stuff. But I think I also said in our episode, like, do we need another musical on a past president? I don't know.
Yeah, I think what is interesting about this is the framing device. It's not necessarily like a straight like bio birth to death musical the way something like Hamilton is. I mean, what is Hamilton? It's nothing will ever be Hamilton. Nothing will ever be Hamilton. But Hamilton is, you know, a pretty classic in some ways birth to death musical, like from beginning to end. Whereas this kind of focuses on three summers of Lincoln, like three specific moments. You know what it kind of reminds me of? A movie I didn't see, but Job, like the Steve Jobs movie, where it's like like the three like the times before three Apple like announcements, like that's kind of what it is. But it's like three conversations that three times that Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass met, and I think that's an interesting framing device and kind of the Civil War there.
The replacement cast, like, good. Like, it has a good, strong cast attached to it. Well, Quentin Earl Darrington, I guess, is busy, but, like, who knows?
Yeah, like, Carmen Cusack was in
other
this.
stuff isn't happening.
Carmen Cusack was in this, but, like, if we're talking about Carmen Cusack, I have one that's not on your list here.
What is it?
Are you familiar with the Bull Durham musical?
No.
Okay, so this is Nick Walker, who's currently in Masquerade, and Carmen Cusack.
He was my Aaron Burr on Broadway.
So they are at Paper Mill Playhouse in October. He's about to leave Masquerade, I guess, to do Bull Durham, which is a baseball movie, speaking of, at Paper Mill Playhouse this fall.
Not another baseball musical.
Not another baseball musical. Not another baseball musical. But yeah, this is based on the movie Bull Durham. I've never seen it. Okay, here we are. Let's read a summary. The Bull Durham story weaves together baseball and romance as veteran catcher Crash Davis is brought in to mentor rookie pitcher Ebby Calvin Nuke LaLoosh, while Annie Savoy, the team's muse, must choose between the two men. Oh, wow. The musical is adapted by its original Academy Award-nominated screenwriter-director Ron Shelton with music and lyrics by Susan Werner. So we've got...
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It sounds like a rom-com. I mean, Carmen Cusack, what a voice. Nick Walker, what a voice. Like, can I be mad?
I love him.
I'm not mad.
Love her too.
Choreographed by Josh Bergasse, who we know loves to do baseball. The national pastime. We're back. We're back.
You know, Smash closed on Broadway, so no one's seeing a baseball number right now. So Josh Bergasse said, I gotta go work on one in New Jersey instead.
The musical will be directed by Mark Bruni, who did The Great Gatsby. We've got Derek McLean scenic design. So great. Yeah, this Playboy article says it has its eyes on Broadway. So Bull Durham.
Okay. Sounds
to the list.
Great. Add her
and
to
it's
the
in
list.
And it's in the fall, so it has time to potentially transfer.
Right, exactly. I guess in that same vein, although not really, because this had a run 3 years ago now in Seattle, the Griswold's Broadway Vacation. Mm-hmm. This only recently had legs again because there was a song released from this musical and Santino Fontana is now starring. And we were like, what is happening here? I thought this was dead after, you know, it had its run in Seattle, but they have a website, they have an Instagram, so like, who knows? My family loves the Griswold vacation movies. They're actually so funny. I just actually don't think we need this as a musical.
I'm interested. You know what this is making me think of? This is on a tangent. What happened to the Little Miss Sunshine musical?
I know. I don't know.
We don't know.
But
okay,
it is kind of the same. It is kind of the same. The only thing that we do know is that Donna Fiore left to Stratford Season to direct this. So
and I do think the interesting thing, my other comparison here is to Bring It On, in that it's not like a remake of like one of the movies. It's kind of an original story with the characters.
Yes.
Which is
I would assume that the vacation is to New York.
To New York to see Broadway. Like, you know, it's a little like fourth wall breaking, like referential, which is fun. I'm curious.
Santino Fontana is like not really giving Chevy Chase, but like he could, I guess.
I love Santino Fontana. I love him.
Same. And I did listen to the song, and you know, he sounds great. It sounds like a classic like poppy musical theatery song. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll save that one that's there for the
Please,
very end.
that's the closer. That is the closer.
Another show that happened this summer at Alliance Theater was Millions. This is an Adam Guettel musical. So, whenever Adam Guettel is attached to something, I feel like there's always a asterisk. Could this go? Stephen Pasquale and Ruthie Ann Miles starred in this.
Please.
So, beautiful voices, beautiful music. I don't know what the show's about, but, sounds like it could happen.
Okay,
Where's Alliance Theater? Do we know?
I don't know.
Is it in
that
Atlanta?
in San Francisco?
I want to say Atlanta.
Alliance
It's in
Theater.
Atlanta.
Atlanta! Oh my god, look at you! Look at you. That's great. Okay, I'm going to do a couple shows at La Jolla Playhouse that I'm seeing. We've got a world premiere musical playing there right now called The Heart. It must close October 5th. Directed by Tony Award winner Christopher Ashley. It's an edge-of-your-seat ride. It looks like it has Zachary Noah Pizer in it. It has... sorry, I'm looking at cast and creators right now. Cast and creators, please don't make me click 12 times like this.
I'm just trying to see who's in this.
Okay, so, I'm sorry, I had to maximize my screen. Heidi Blickenstaff.
Okay.
Zachary Noah Pizer. Paul Alexander Nolan. Okay. Kenita Miller. Ren Rivera. Oh my god, I saw them in, what was it called? Between the Lines. The craziest voice of Jason Tam. Anyway, craziest voice I've ever heard, honestly. Creators. Kate Kerrigan.
You just got so, more excited by every person that came out.
I was excited. I skipped some people whose names I didn't recognize, but I'm just getting the highlights. I'm getting the highlights here. Kate Kerrigan, book and additional lyrics.
I love Kate Kerrigan.
Okay, Kate Kerrigan. Anne Eisendrath,
Mad Ones.
music and lyrics.
So good.
Ian Eisendrath, music and lyrics. Mandy Moore, choreographer. I've seen Mandy Moore, choreographer, here a few times today.
Okay, this is interesting.
Christopher Ashley, director. I'm in here. This is interesting. Do we have a summary? Just a brief. Oh, okay. Please, 80 minutes with no intermission. Oh man,
we love to see it.
Everything I read about this gets me more excited. Okay. When a young surfer's life is cut short, it means a second chance for a stranger. Over the course of 24 suspenseful hours in San Diego, we follow one precious heart on its vital life-saving journey and meet the people whose lives are impacted along the way. Oh, wow, that sounds devastating.
That's absolutely not what I thought it was going to be.
It's called The Heart. It's called The Heart. Okay, I've got another one for us here. You know about this.
Okay.
World premiere musical, Working Girl. Okay?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Well, this we know, but Tess McGill is a Staten Island secretary with big dreams and even bigger ideas, but when her scheming boss, Catherine Parker, steals one, Tess decides to take matters into her own hands. With Catherine unexpectedly out of town, Tess seizes the chance to prove herself, making a bold business move that could change her life forever. With some help from her savvy friends and a charming businessman, she's got one shot to pull it off before the boss returns. Music and lyrics by Cyndi Lauper. Oh my god, no. Book by Teresa Rebeck. Oh man. Directed by Christopher Ashley again, because he works
there. He must have a residency at La Jolla.
No, he's the creative director.
He works there? Oh, okay, great.
Yes. We don't have a cast yet, but we just have Cyndi Lauper, Teresa Rebeck, obviously. Sarah O'Gleby, choreographer, Christopher Ashley. Where's my cast? But this is compelling to me.
We did know about Working Girl.
But we're adding this here. That is not that. That's not that. And that's that. So these two at La Jolla are, I think,
great
possibilities, especially because they're both in the fall at La Jolla. So we've got some time to move over.
This summer at Chicago Shakes was 42 Balloons. Now, I've previously talked about this. I actually do think this could happen.
I agree.
Because, again, this is another West End transfer. And the West End is, obsessed with this, which is so funny because it's an American story. But basically, it's the story of Larry Walters, who basically strapped himself to a lawn chair attached to 42 weather balloons and flew. But the cast recording, which is 8 songs on an EP, I'm so beyond obsessed with. I think the music is incredible. It says on Chicago Shakes' website that it's the producers of Six, which I understand. It's very Six coded in that it's a very energetic cast, young cast. Mm-hmm. If this transfers, I'm there, because I've only heard so many amazing things about this. Kate Ranking and Mickey Jo Theater saw this in Chicago and said it needs a little bit of work in terms of staging, but performance-wise, book-wise, pretty strong. I do think that the cast actually not the full cast, but the two main characters are definitely like from the UK, but then I know that they filled out the ensemble with like Americans in Chicago. So again, like I'm like literally so obsessed with this EP, so I would like die to see this go to Broadway.
You played this EP for me, and then I was very into the especially that opening number, the prologue.
Ugh.
Yes, I think that prologue is really, really strong. So
it's good 80s music. We love
compelled.
to see it.
I'm really compelled by this as well.
Yeah. We spoke on this earlier, but I'm going to bring it here because, you know, it's the gala presentation this year at New York City Center, and that's Bat Boy. We've never seen Bat Boy, but I have heard, like, enough about it. I swear, if you, like, flash all the way back to, like, maybe year one of this podcast when we did our, like, cult classics musicals, I think we did reference Bat Boy.
Probably.
But what's exciting to me about this is that it's a Taylor Trench starring role, and we love him so much. I think actually the entire cast is like pretty good on this. Gabby Karuba is in this as well, which I don't know if they ever did Dear Evan Hansen together. Maybe they did. Andrew Durand, we love him. John Michael Lyles is in this, who was in A Strange Loop. Christopher Sieber is in this, who, like, we love. Alex Newell is in this. Like, it's a really good cast. And, you know, if it follows the trajectory of these gala presentations from the New York City Center, it probably won't be this season, but it could be next season. Before we round out, I guess, the rest of these potentials, which is leading us to the West End, we do, as of today, have the 26-27 first show, which is the revival of Dreamgirls. I cannot wait because this is like 10 years in the making. I saw the 2012 London West End production of Dreamgirls and have been waiting for this to come to Broadway since. Camille A. Brown is choreographing and directing this, which I think is like really exciting.
Coming off of her choreographing Gypsy.
For Gypsy.
That's really good.
And I think the most exciting part of all of this is that they are like hosting a worldwide casting search for the Dreams. Jasmine Amy Rogers tweeted today that she is throwing herself in the race for this, which, like, let's go, Jasmine Amy Rogers. Like, she could do this for sure. But yeah, it's time for a Dreamgirls revival. I think the last one was in 1987. Which is a long time ago. Like, this is a true revival. These days, it feels like we get revivals, like, every 2 years. But this is, many, many years in the making.
1981 Broadway, 1987 Broadway. Yeah, nothing on Broadway since. You know, there have been, little things here and there. 2016 West End, that's the one you saw.
That's what I meant. 2016, not 2012.
Let me do two things from ART before we cross the pond.
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
So there's a couple things coming at ART. I don't know if either of them will make this season, but worth mentioning. So December 9th to January 25th at ART, Wonder, featuring music by Grammy Award-winning duo A Great Big World. This uplifting new musical for the entire family celebrates empathy, resilience, and the power of choosing kindness. This, I think, is based on that Jacob Tremblay movie.
Just to recount what happened before we started recording, both of us were like, is this the Jacob Tremblay movie?
Yes, exactly, it is. We have no cast at this time. We have nothing. We have A Great Big World.
It's interesting.
What's their song, like, Say Something with Christina Aguilera? That's all I got. Okay, and this next one definitely will not transfer because it is not in time, because it will be running May 26th to June 28th, 2026. But Black Swan. Tony Award winner Sonia Taye brings a bold new musical adaptation of the 2010 psychological thriller to life on stage, featuring a score by, you're not ready, featuring a score by Dave Malloy and a book by, I know, you're not ready, and a book by Jen Silverman.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Sorry, what are we doing next night?
Book it in. I'm actually, May 26th to June 28th. That's actually horrific dates for me, I gotta be honest. But
okay, now that you're saying this, I vaguely remember seeing an article about Black Swan with Sonia Taye. But Dave Malloy?
Dave Malloy. Music lyrics by Dave Malloy. Yeah.
You know what? ART really just
directed
suck
and
us
choreographed
right back in.
by Sonia Taye. Like, the direction. Yeah, we have got no other information, but I'm assuming insane dancers are going to be in this.
That is actually so thrilling.
Yeah. Again, unfortunately, like, the worst dates for me possible.
What is it again? May what to June what?
May 26th to June 28th. Like,
Okay, like, there's a workable weekend in there.
I actually don't know.
Wow, ART is, like, really serving.
I know. I know now we're, like, really compelled by the Black Swan musical, which a movie I've never seen. But
Wait, what?
I protested the use of not the use of non-dancers, like, I also just, like, don't love a thriller, but the aggrandizing of Natalie Portman's dance ability at the time was a lot. Okay.
Like, the movie is really good.
And we did that Black Swan themed escape room.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
That was great.
And I would go back to Boston. I would go back to Cambridge. I have things to do there. Things I'd like to do. So,
I mean, we don't really have anything to do there, but, like, that is compelling me to go back to Boston.
Our minds are turning.
That's wild. Wow, I was not... You know what? Good for you for saving that authentic reaction for this moment.
I know.
Because I would not have been able to recreate that twice.
No, you really weren't ready. You were not ready.
I was not ready. the Dave Malloy of it all, I was not ready for.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow, okay. Dave Malloy.
I can X this window out now. But it will not be this Broadway season, but we just all needed to know. Okay, let's round us out with the West End, Tara. Take us away.
Okay, we're going to the West End. So we're going to start with something that, like, we've heard literally so much about and have heard that this is, like, maybe the best musical to come out of the West End in a long time. But I also think that it's maybe dead and will not come to Broadway, and that's Benjamin Button. There are, I don't know if there's a full cast recording out, but there's definitely, like, songs that are available.
Right.
And
I have not listened.
There's, like... There's performances from the Olivier's. There's performances from, like, different things. It looks like Once to me, which I know you
There's,
love.
like, the bar on stage, actor musicians. The full title, by the way, is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, just so we all know.
Not the Benjamin Button musical. Exactly. Yeah, anything that I've seen of this, it just looks really good to me, and any reviews that I've heard of this are that it's, again, like, the best musical to come out of the West End last year, whenever it started. I believe that it's not over yet, right? It's ending soon?
I think it ends in October.
Okay, so there's still, like, a little bit of time to see this, but yeah, I don't know where we stand on this, but everyone that's seen it has said, like, please bring this to Broadway because they can't wait to see it again. But I don't know, we've, like, heard nothing about it moving at all, so
yeah,
I'm sure.
Especially because closing October 11th, especially because they're closing in the West End without an anticipated transfer here.
Unless there's an announcement in the next 4 weeks, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. Another show, we spoke on this. Actually, we'll skip her for a second and come to something that just had potentially a workshop in London. And literally, we will drop everything for this musical to go see it in London, potentially. And that's Gatsby, ART Gatsby. I don't know that we've said it on the podcast. Maybe
Gatsby, an American Myth, famously.
Sorry, yes, Gatsby, an American Myth. But it has a new director in David Cromer. And if you if you know what we thought about Dead Outlaw, like, we are David Cromer fans now. Well, I was a David Cromer fan. Like, I was fine with him before, but now I'm really a fan.
No, but now we're really in on him, I think.
Yeah. We don't know about cast, especially if, like, Solly Pfeiffer is doing Wanted. Like, what does this mean for Gatsby? Like, Isaac Powell is still, like, not attached to anything, and I hope that he travels everywhere with this show. Ben Levi Ross is obviously in Ragtime, but I don't know. Like, we've said this for literally years now. Are they going to run both Gatsbys on Broadway at the same time? They obviously think that they need a full other run before they bring this anywhere, even though, like, you and I were like, this could move to
ready to move. We're ready
currently.
To go.
Like,
I think
I'm ready to see it.
I felt, and a lot of people felt, that it was in really good shape. Like, really good shape. But, yeah, clearly they were not happy with the direction of this. Who directed it? Was it Rachel Chavkin?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'd also heard that, who did Cabaret? Rebecca Frecknell was, like, the original director, kind of working on developing it before they brought in Rachel Chavkin. And now we've kind of moved to, it seems like, a third director in David Cromer. I think, I wonder who it comes down to. We're keeping Martina Mayock as the book writer, and I think her book is very good. Yeah, I'm wondering.
Still Florence score.
Still Florence, of course. Like, that is kind of, is she the one driving this? Did she not like this ART production? Who knows? But yeah.
I, like, think about it every day, that production.
I know. And, like, we had to use the Yonder pouches, so there's, like, barely
there's, like,
even
nothing
a bootleg.
available. Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing. When one thing appeared on TikTok, we both like downloaded it.
Yeah, like immediately.
It was like a 10-second clip. We're like, download. Like, we need this.
I still hear can you hear it roar in my head? Finally.
Yeah.
Like, because for a long time I couldn't hear anything from that production. It was like so frustrating.
Yep.
Yeah, like this is a show that like I think we decided as soon as we saw it that like we would love to see it every step of the way.
We're following it everywhere.
So like
it
I'm
goes.
very committed to Gatsby, and the rumor is that it will be having a run in the West End next year. Obviously, that doesn't mean that it's transferring to Broadway next year because it needs to do that run. So if anything, it would come in 26-27 season, but like we actually don't know. I just need to mention it because it's not dead. A show that like might literally still have legs. We mentioned this 2 weeks ago in our Toronto season preview when I spoke about it for my Obsession of the Week, and that's Evita. The cast has been like kind of cryptic online about certain things. Rachel Zegler was a little cryptic at the stage door, apparently, on the final night of performances. I just think we said last time when we talked about this that like it depends on Jamie Lloyd and Andrew Lloyd Webber's current relationship right now, what happens. And also, I know that, you know, we did the balcony scene in the West End, but I do actually think that New York is a different beast. And I think they would really need to be so super safe about that. So logistically, I think a lot more conversations would need to happen for this to happen in New York. But if this transfers, that's another one. Like, I'm there. It just is a matter of when.
Yes. I would love to see Evita. I think thinking about Evita and Benjamin Button, I think we both have regrets about not going to London this summer and kind of missing both of those. Like, we didn't know. We didn't know.
We kind of knew about Benjamin Button, but like we didn't really know.
Yes, no, I know. And it's hard, not hard, but yeah, to like plan around like work and life to make a cross-country trip.
We've never done a West End theater trip.
Yeah. Last time I was in London was 2018. Miss her.
Last time I was there was like 2017, 2016. So like, yeah, it's been a long time. I would like literally love to do a London theater trip because even like when I was there, when you were there, like I could have seen more than we saw, but like we didn't. So I would love to see like 12 shows when we're in London if we do a London trip type thing. Like a theater trip. Yeah. Trip. Like we gotta like follow the American TikTokers when they go do theirs, like Ashley Hufford, Kate King, Broadway Ben. They always do like a twice a year theater trip and see like a cajillion shows.
Yeah.
It's just like obviously we can hop on a plane and get to New York in an hour and a half, and London is
do it for like a
5-hour flight away, and we would need to make it worth our time to go. So. Yeah. I think we had also said, which I didn't even mention, but like The Greatest Showman is supposed to be in London this spring as well. So
something
like
in the UK.
I'm curious on all of these dates and if they will like magically align with each other. There's absolutely no way that they will, but
I know.
I'm hoping.
I think about so many things that I hope magically align next year, but we will see. I actually have one more show to bring up before we get to our closer, which is our closer every year. But looking at the drama desks, which I brought up earlier this past season, 4 were Broadway musicals and 1 was an off-Broadway musical, and it was a show called Music City. So it seems like a country musical.
Like it takes... Oh. Is it a Nashville? I was going to say, sounds like Detroit, but it's probably Nashville.
Nashville. So let's listen to the summary. Let's hear the summary. Music City is a new musical by Billboard chart-topping country songwriter J.T. Harding with a book by Peter Zinn. Through soaring, soul-piercing ballads and hard-hitting, heart-thumping showstoppers, audiences are drawn into a first-hand account of 2 young singer-songwriters trying to catch a break in a rundown East Nashville neighborhood stricken with drug addiction and poverty. In Nashville, heartbreak is the only thing they hand out for free. Wow, what a line. And yeah, this played kind of, I think, in the fall last year. And yeah, it was nominated for a Drama Desk. It did not win. But I'm curious about this. I literally have heard absolutely zero about this.
Zero.
Like literally nothing.
I was about to say to you, like, what's your just in time for this season? Because
wow, really what's my like crazy prediction? What if it's this? What if it's this? Yeah, I did really pull out just in time last year. I don't know. Maybe it's Bull Durham.
I swear last year you were like, I have 1 left and it's just in time. It's like, what the hell is just in time?
What if it's Bull Durham? I pulled out. What if it's The Heart, starring Zachary Noah Pizer and Hattie Blickenstaff?
Maybe. We'll see. We'll have to see. Maybe we'll be having this conversation in a year from now and I'll be like, wow, can't believe. Would you like to give us our final show of the predicted season?
Oh, wow. We predict this every year.
It's actually alive again, though.
It is. It's back. She's alive. She's, risen.
Like, for real, though.
Risen from the dead. And that is Sing Street. I can't even laugh. It did just have a run in London, or in the UK at least.
I do think that it is more alive now than ever because they performed at West End Live, and people loved it. And the cast was like authentically young, and you've heard us talk about this a million times, but like those songs are so good. Where were we when we recently just like put on Sing Street? We were like, wow, this cast recording,
we're always driving somewhere. So it is technically not the West End. It's the Lyric Hammersmith. Hammersmith is in Hammersmith, London, but it's a non-profit theater, so it is not West End. Okay. So they said they were hoping for a West End transfer. Directed by Rebecca Teichman, which I think it's always been directed by her, to be honest.
It wasn't that long ago. Like, the final performance was August 23rd, so at this point, like, only a few weeks ago.
Yes. I'm just looking at her other, like, selected work here to see if there's anything.
I actually think, like, not going to Sing Street in December 2019 is maybe, like, one of our
I know, the off-Broadway run. Yeah.
Yeah. We tried to get tickets, but, like, it was sold out.
It was. We were on the lottery.
Yeah.
I love that movie. Rebecca Teichman won the Tony Award for Best Direction of a Play for Indecent. Oh, man.
Oh, man. We love Indecent.
We did love Indecent. So that's kind of our closer every year. One day
we'll see it.
It will happen. Was it supposed to be the Longacre? Was it the Longacre?
I don't remember. They should license it.
The Lyceum.
They
should license it. That's actually a good idea.
Because then we would be able to actually see it, because someone will put that on. License it.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the Lyceum.
Who can I talk to about that? Who can I talk to about licensing this musical?
I don't know. The thing is, it's not licensed because they have hope.
We also have hope. There's like 3 people that have hope: the director and us.
Off-Broadway 2019, canceled Broadway production 2020, Boston 2022, London 2025, and
we're still going.
Speaking
we're still
of
working.
Who choreographed this? Sonia Taye. Like, we're back, Sonia. I'm such a huge fan of her. But yeah, we have to be done here. There's so much that we're missing, but
there's a million things. There's like literally every city in the United States has a theater or 3, and I'm sure there's so many things playing.
One more. Telltale Harbor. You think that's gonna transfer to Broadway? I don't.
There's no way.
I do not. But
okay, fine. Bold. Be bold.
Be bold.
A bold statement.
People are gonna be like, it's like Come From Away.
No. Well, we'll let you know, because I actually think Telltale Harbor is our next episode. So we will let you know very soon.
Yeah, probably.
What we think of Telltale Harbor and if it's the next Come From Away. But yeah, that is a very long Broadway season preview, plus mostly potentials and shows that we're like kind of excited for. As we said at the beginning of this episode, right now it's kind of like whatever. So we'll see. I think like the next time you'll hear from us about all of these shows will be next year for our Way Too Early Tony nominations, which I think could be a struggle this year.
I know we haven't even really delved into that today, but
yeah. Because I swear last time when we did a season preview, I predicted Nicole Scherzinger's Tony win, and this year I got nothing. I have no one to give a Tony to this year, except for the cast of Ragtime. That's it.
Wow. Maybe that Joshua Henry. Engrave that statue. Brandon Uranowitz.
Let's go.
Engrave that statue.
But yeah, that is our, I would say, Broadway season preview. And it's now time for our obsession of the week.
My obsession of the week is just a little one. It's my birthday this weekend, and I got a birthday gift, and I'm going to show you all today what my birthday gift was. So we follow on our TikTok that me and Tara share, Allie Goodbun. She's from the area. She's from the Toronto area and the GTA anyway. But now she lives in Paris. She's a dancer at the Moulin Rouge, and she started a business called Ready Freddy to make outfits for dancers and performers to get ready in. Am I still a dancer performer? No. Did I get myself? Or did I get one for my birthday?
You didn't get yourself.
I didn't get one for myself. I got it for my birthday. I haven't even worn it yet, but I have it here. It's little like
cute.
It's like a little like yellow sort of romper. It's basically like a towel that you can wear, and the great part about it is you goes up and it has all straps, and then it goes down, so it doesn't have to go over your face or your hair or makeup. And it's just for wearing for getting ready.
You have a pool, so you can use it for this.
Oh my god, that's such a good idea. That's such a good idea. I can put it over my swimsuit. It's got a little pocket.
Also, shout out to Heather Cossack, who has one in like
Heather
every
Cossack
color.
Also does wear one. So yeah, I got a little yellow one for me to wear while I do my makeup for the podcast. Maybe I'll roll up in this. Maybe our pajama party this year at Tony nominations. I'll be in my Ready Freddy. Who knows?
It might look a little strange from just,
it's giving a little
top
like
up.
I love it, but it's giving a little like Winnie the Pooh minion.
Yes.
But I love it. I love it so much. So
especially with what you're wearing right now, it's really giving Winnie the Pooh.
But yeah, it's so cute. I'm obsessed with it. And yeah, just shout out to Canadian business performing outfit, getting ready. I love it. I feel like I'm a Broadway star wearing it.
I can also you can see her on TikTok. She posts a lot on TikTok
about like what it's like to be
at the Moulin Rouge.
Exactly what it's like to be a dancer at the Moulin Rouge. Yeah, I love it. But yeah, that's my obsession this week. Tara, what's your obsession this week?
My obsession this week, I will also keep it short because we're so long here. But I recently, Steph already knows about this, but I recently went to a premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival for the Godspell documentary, which has a very long title, but the short form title is You Had to Be There. And I have been sort of like following the 1972 Toronto Godspell cast for like a few years now, like specifically because at my real job I had to research it for a specific guest that came in, and since then I've kind of just been like so interested in finding out like the main story. Also, for anybody that doesn't know, this included the craziest cast maybe of all time, but at the time these people were not famous. Martin Short, Eugene Levy, Victor Garber, Andrea Martin, Jane Eastwood. That's just like scratching the surface. Paul Schaefer was the musical director. Like it's crazy. My only like critique, which is not even a critique because there's nothing to do about this, but they don't have like footage of that show, and I wish that we like could dip into the Mirvish archive and like pull out the footage, but they don't have it. Like it was not recorded. This production was at the Royal Alex in 1972, and the premiere was at the Royal Alex, so that was kind of like a fun like full circle for them. But my favorite part of this doc was at the end when everybody like reunited in New York at their like current ages to sit around a piano with like Paul Schaefer and just sing through the entire score of Godspell, and I cried because I was like, wow, like this musical bringing these people together all of these years later, and all of these people are still friends. They still check in with each other. We have like very minimum rehearsal footage from this production, but we really need to thank Martin Short for illegally recording One Day. And
the original slime tutorial by Martin Short.
Yeah. Like hooking up microphones to a set piece so that he could listen to this back all these years later, and little did he know that they would use this for a documentary. I'm going to be so annoying because this has not been bought yet, so there's nowhere to see this documentary at this time. But when it eventually, because I'm sure someone will pick this up, whether it's Netflix, HBO, Crave in Canada, like, I don't know, someone will probably pick this up. When that does happen, I will come back and let everybody know where they can watch this documentary, because, I don't know, it's just, like, so nice to see the success of all of these people when they were literally 22, 23, 24 years old. And so crazy to think that we have such incredible, incredible talent that came out of Canada, specifically, like, Hamilton, Ontario, Toronto, like, Guelph, all of these places, like, has housed maybe the like funniest comedians in the world. So yeah, I don't know, I really enjoyed it, and the talkback was very funny. Martin Short is maybe the funniest person alive, but I think everybody knows that. But I just thought I would mention it here because you know it's theater adjacent. Actually, it's pretty theater specific. It's theater. Yeah. So that's my obsession this week. That is the Broadway season preview. And as I said, I'm pretty sure our next episode is on Telltale Harbor. So until then, you can go listen to any of our other episodes by subscribing to our podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also watch us on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a comment.
And you can follow us on Instagram at Off2BOA Podcast with the number 2, and on TikTok at Off2Broadway.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.